Hello, welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name's Hussein. What's going on here? Oh, it's doing that. Weird. Still going. I wonder if I got something else on. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Um, oh, this is okay. Oh, weird. Anyway, sorry about that. That was a weird noise. I'm not sure where it was coming from. Hope you guys are having a good night. I haven't done anything since Mamdani uh, took the throne of New York. Now, I always thought New York was kind of crazy, but man, they've really taken it up a notch. So, yeah, they're gonna get what they voted for, and it's not looking good. Hello, Andrew Martin. Hello, AG. God bless you. Hello, Andrew Martin and Abla and AG. Yeah, well, you know what? The This is a big deal. I mean, he's pro Hamas, pro Hezbollah, pro. I don't know if he's pro Taliban. I'm sure. So this is a big victory for them. See, that's one thing they didn't talk about too much in the media because if you talk about it, that means you're Islamophobic. And so there's a movie, Escape from New York, true story. Look at Hezbollah, Shia in Lebanon are claiming victory. No, they're not the only ones. They're not the only ones. This is a tremendous victory for all of those because he wouldn't condemn them. I mean, he could say, "Look, I'm a moderate Muslim and a peaceful Muslim, and I condemn what they do," but he didn't do that. He stood his ground supporting them, and New York still voted for him. So I don't know what to think. Hello, Yusuf. God bless you. Yeah, I don't know what to think. This is really we're into some uncharted territory. I mean, for New York, the most important city in the world, um, the economic city of the whole world, and they have bowed and kissed the ring of Islamism and communism, the marriage of the two. So, very strange situation. And it'll be interesting to see. Okay, what's going to happen? I guess yeah, he won. Unbelievable. And so I just want to look a little bit at there's a writer that I like. One thing you noticed yesterday was when he did his speech, he did his victory speech. Before he did his victory speech, I was watching some of the other races, like the ones in Virginia. There was a governor race in Virginia, there was a governor race in New Jersey, and there was another race, uh, I think also in Virginia. The guy who uh, was fantasizing killing his Republican opponent and watching his children die. And he got elected. He got elected. I mean, Virginia, what the heck, man? What the heck is wrong with Virginia, man? You guys are sick. Unbelievable. They voted for this guy. This guy said that what was his quote? What was his text? Jay Jones's text, controversial check. He had these unbelievable text messages, you know. Here's what the Jay Jones ran for Attorney General, and he won. Uh, because of these texts that he sent about the Republican opponent, and right after the Charlie Kirk murder, and if those guys die before me, I'll go to their funerals and pee on their graves. Um, Jones suggested that if he only had 2 bullets and was faced with the choice of shooting Gilbert, that was his Republican opponent, or the dictators Adolf Hitler and Pol Pot, he would shoot Gilbert every time. Unbelievable violence. And the Virginians voted for him. The Virginians voted for him. What the heck is going on in Virginia, man? I mean, you guys, I think you're nuts. Are there churches in Virginia? Are there Christians there? Unbelievable, man. They voted for this guy. Coiner hung up, but Jones continued texting, saying he was just asking questions. Coiner chastised Jones for hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. One text said, "I mean, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil? That they're breeding little fascists? Yes." So this is when he's fantasizing about Gilbert's children dying, his young children. Coiner has not spoken with Jones since, apart from a brief conversation. In a news outlet, he said he's deeply, deeply sorry for what I said, and I wish that it hadn't happened. I would take it back if I could. And Virginians voted this guy in. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. I guess people are desperate in Virginia. And they voted for the communist governor, too. So, hatred of Donald Trump is a big thing over there. And Democrats and Muslims will work together to go against anything Christian, not knowing full Muslims will go after them if the Christian. The Islam allows them to do taqiyya, which is, play along with these guys to win power. But then once you got the power, then you go after every non-Muslim. And so it's, these Democrats are playing with this. They're playing with fire. These guys will, and they believe they're kind of naive uh, about foreigners. They're kind of naive and just playing with them and stuff, not knowing you can't play with these guys. They will come to collect. So let's just look. But one thing that really was amazing to me, I don't know how many of you guys watch his victory speech. I was just telling you about the I was super impressed with the concession speeches. The concession speech, that's where, the candidate who loses gets to do a speech to say that they congratulate the winner and that, they did their best and they thank their supporters and all that stuff. And there were like three main concession speeches that I watched. There was the one from Mamdani Como. Actually, there was two from Mamdani Como and the other guy, Kliwa. And then there was the one for the the Virginia governor, and then the one for the New Jersey governor. And I was really, really impressed with those concession speeches. I mean, the victor speeches were just a bunch of bile dribble. I mean, it doesn't make a difference what they said. They sounded like losers, even though they were the winners. But the concession speeches were amazing, really. There was one the governor candidate for Virginia, and she says, "I did this because God told me to, and I felt it was God's will, and I did what I was supposed to in the time I was supposed to do it." That's what she said, and she says, and people say, "Did you lose?" And she said, "No, I can't. How can I lose when I'm with God?" And so she was saying she was with God and she obeyed God. Um, so so that really impressive. And the guy for the New Jersey race, he was amazing, really. And then the even Governor Como and Kliwa, both of them, they gave both really good concession speeches. You know what I found about the concession speeches? It really kind of heals your heart. If you're on the losing team, you're supporting the guy and he loses. Um, those concession speeches can be very healing. They're very powerful. And I was really impressed. I mean, I've never, I don't usually watch the concession speeches of the losers. Um, But this time I did listen. I was just kind of curious to see what they had to say, especially since I kind of supported them. And I'll be honest, I was really impressed. They were very gracious and way better than the victor speeches. The victor speeches were all a bunch of garbage. I mean, really. And none more so than Mamdani. What a piece of garbage that speech was. Oh my goodness. What a piece of garbage. You know, you should learn some American grace, Mamdani. You should learn some American grace. Watch some of those concession speeches to learn some grace instead of just being so bombastic and angry and, he was disgusting, man. And yeah, I want to watch. I don't want to watch it because I was so disgusted with his speech. I thought it was so bad, so angry. I mean, not reaching out to the guys to the vanquished foes, and not reaching out, not trying to be gracious. I really like what this guy said about it. This is Michael Goodwin. This guy is Jewish, and he's like one of the best writers at the New York Post, one of the best editorial writers at the New York Post. And I really like what he said. I think he really caught the mood of Mamdani's speech. And it says, Michael Goodwin, the graceless sore winner Zohran Mamdani immediately drops his mask and declares war on New York City. You know, he was smiling and everything, deceiving the multitudes. Um, but man, as soon as he won, he became this beast. You know, it was almost like he became somebody else. He was this beast, you know, angry. And, I don't think you need to be that way in America. You know, I don't think you need to be that way because of the democratic system that's here. But he was that way, very disgusting. Even what's his face? Um, Let me see if I could watch. I think if I could watch that, it'll be cool. Um, which is that left wing nutcase on CNN. Um, that guy's name Van Jones on Zohran's speech. Um, okay, I don't know if we'll be able to watch it all, but here, let's watch a few minutes of this. You know, I mean, every now and then, even a broken clock is right 2 times a day. So here, Van Jones, kind of takes Zohran to task. It's easier to do that when your side wins. So being critical doesn't really mean a whole lot. Okay, where is it?
Shocked. Please give Van Jones the biggest hee-haw. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Mehdi Hassan some more.
That's right.
About everything that happened.
I felt like there's a little bit of a character switch here, where the warm guy, or is he more embraced?
So Van Jones had this to say. Let's listen.
But I think he missed an opportunity. The Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. And I think that Mamdani is the one you need to hear from tonight. There are a lot of people trying to figure out, can I get on this train with him or not?
See, he took that from me. Can I get on this train with him?
Is he going to include me? Is he going, or is he going to be more of a class warrior, even in office? I think he missed a chance tonight to open up and bring more people into the tent. I think he was using the microphone in a way that he was almost yelling. And that's not the Mamdani that we've seen on TikTok and the great interviews and stuff like that. So I felt like there's a little bit of a character switch here, where the warm, open, embracing guy that's close to working people was not on stage tonight. And there was some other voice on stage. That said, he's very young, and he just pulled off something that's very, very difficult. And I wouldn't write him off, but I think he missed an opportunity to open himself up tonight, and I think that will probably cost him going forward.
Man, shut the F up, Eva.
Okay, so yeah, so yes, thank you, Abdullah, for showing that. You guys, if you want to support the persecuted Christians in Nigeria, thank God President Trump talked about it. I mean, no matter what you want to say against President Trump, and there's a lot you can, I tell you what, he stood up for the Christians in Nigeria, and he told Nigeria, you don't stop killing them, we're going to come over there with guns blazing. I mean, that was amazing. And Nigeria's like, oh, we are people of equality and equity and all this crap. And but man, I thought that was awesome that he stood with them. God bless him for that. Hopefully that'll end the insanity in Nigeria right now. I have friends in Nigeria. I mean, haven't seen him for years, but so it's a very sad situation over there. All right. Yeah, let's look at Michael Goodwin's article about the sore winner, Zoran Mamdani. So graceless. He just looks like he's so angry at America. America has been so good to him. It's been so good to his family. His father is a rabid partisan, and yet he's a teacher at Columbia University, and his mother is a movie director. Just like, and you guys, why be so angry? Go live in another country for a while if you don't appreciate being in America. Here's what Michael Goodwin says. Having fallen in love with the sound of his own voice and apparently convinced he is heaven sent, a besotted Zoran missed the warning that you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So it was that his victory speech Tuesday night had no hint of grace or gratitude to New York or America. Its sneering, triumphalist tone was especially unbecoming for an immigrant in a city that generously opened its arms to embrace him and his family decades ago. Rather than any expression of appreciation, his relentless criticism of his political predecessors and successful New Yorkers sounded like a battle cry from the interior of a Trojan horse. Without a doubt, he was declaring war against President Trump and, by extension, anyone else who had the nerve to oppose him. Especially striking was the fact that Mamdani offered only the back of his hand to the more than 1 million New Yorkers who voted for his opponents. Okay. So I like the way he said that, the way he, expressed that. It's very gracious and nice. All right, you guys. Well, you know what, you guys? I'm not going to be here very long tonight. I'm really tired. And so I just want to come on, say something about the Mamdani train. And so, anyway, hopefully tomorrow I'll be a little bit more awake. And so thank you so much, you guys, for being with us. If you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Have a great night.
If you have ever wondered why dull apologists lie so much, it's because on a rare occasion that they tell the truth, this happens.
One of the reasons I accepted Islam was the scientific miracles. I'll be honest with you. And now we know that this whole scientific miracles was absolute nonsense.
You're going to have to repeat that.
Now we know that this whole scientific miracles was absolute nonsense. Now we know that this whole scientific miracles was absolute nonsense.
That the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say.